Welcome to the Motherhood Alliance podcast, the podcast dedicated to empowering moms and families on their health and wellness journey. I'm Brittany Suttner.
And I'm Andrea Rinkus. Together, we're here to explore holistic approaches that go beyond conventional medicine.
Each week, we dive into topics that matter most to you. Everything from nutrition and mental health to alternative therapies and natural living.
And whether you're a new mom navigating the early stages of parenthood or a seasoned pro looking for new ways to support your family's well-being, you're in the right place.
Even better, all of our guests are local small business owners who you can actually talk to and work with. You can learn more about today's guest and connect with hundreds of other health and wellness professionals through our informative and easy-to-use directory at motherhoodalliance.com.
Before we get started, keep in mind that this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for personal healthcare advice. Please consult your healthcare provider before making any changes based on the podcast content.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Are you ready to help your family thrive? Let's get started. Hi, we are Britt and Drea from motherhoodalliance.com, and we are excited to welcome you to a 4-episode series with Stefanie Turzinski, an Appleton-based licensed massage therapist and the founder of Nurtured Roots Prenatal Massage. Stefanie specializes in prenatal, postpartum, and infant massage, and she brings a wealth of knowledge to each client she supports through a custom plan, education, and resource recommendations, which is why her business tagline is total support during pregnancy, birth, and motherhood. Stefanie originally thought she'd focus on sports massage, but once she discovered how powerful touch could be for moms during pregnancy, she knew she had found her calling. Now, as a mom herself, she's even more passionate about helping women feel strong and supported, and loves that she gets to help women move through pregnancy with less pain, shorter labors, fewer complications, and a smoother postpartum recovery every day. Outside of her practice, Stefanie loves spending time outdoors, attending baseball games, and fishing with her husband, 3-year-old daughter, and 1-year-old son. We're excited to welcome Stefanie to the mic today. Let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. We are super excited to welcome back Stefanie. We had an awesome conversation talking about prenatal massage in the first episode, and we're going to keep talking about massage, but we're going to be talking about it more in the 4th trimester. So talking about postpartum massage and the recovery with that. And Stefanie has some great information that we're going to be talking about. So first of all, I said 4th trimester. Can we define what the 4th trimester is, Stefanie?
Yeah, so the 4th trimester really means like the first 12 weeks, so the first 3 months postpartum after having a baby, where baby and mom are both adjusting, and there's time for transformation and adjustments. There's always different adjustments going on during the first, I would say like first year to 2 years for the mom and baby. Always different routines, different healing processes going on. So really for me, for postpartum, I always say it's once you have a baby, you're always postpartum. Mm-hmm. There's no cutoff at the 12 weeks. But for my postpartum massage, I always do the first 12 weeks and then always offer them afterwards that they're more than welcome to always continue to be my client as a therapeutic client.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. And that's great. I think that's a great point too, is that just because you're done with prenatal or postpartum massage, you're not done with Stefanie, right?
Correct. Yes. If they so choose.
Yeah, if they so choose, yes. Britt and I, we got into our field as personal trainers that specialize in prenatal and postpartum because we felt like there was a gap in the fitness industry as far as, helping moms with understanding their bodies and exercise and such. But I definitely feel like there's a gap in prenatal care when it comes to, helping moms understand how massage is going to help them prenatal, postpartum, and just learning to relax. Can you talk about the gap in postpartum care?
Yeah, so postpartum care is very important, and I feel like there's a huge gap in it because the moms are always busy or feel the need to not be able to leave the house, like without their child or without their baby, which I totally get. Like you have that connection with your baby. If you're nursing, you have that, nursing or even bottle feeding, you always have that anxiety of like, oh, I got to be here by this time to be able to feed my child. Yeah. I know during my first postpartum journey after 3 years ago after my daughter, that was like my biggest anxiety was leaving the house and thinking like, where am I going to be at in 2.5 hours when I need to feed her?
That is 100%. Yeah.
And
sure.
I don't know why.
The first one especially.
Yeah. And I don't know why I had that because I would just nurse her wherever, but it was just that like thing you can't control. And that also goes into like hormones. And the support that you have or don't have during postpartum. Seems like a lot of people in or your support team, your family, your friends are there for you in the first couple weeks. And then everybody wants to be there. And it's like, do they be there for you or do they want to just see the baby? And then they kind of just disappear. And that's where I feel like I come in, you come in, you guys with your Fit Moms, a lot of like postpartum businesses that are also in the Motherhood Alliance as well. The lack of postpartum care, I feel like, isn't that it's not there. It's that it's hard for the moms to seek it out and to be able to give themselves time and have the energy even to do an exercise, go for a walk, get a massage. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier that, for massage, for postpartum, I always recommend the moms to bring in their babies with them. I'd rather have them come in, get a massage, be able to get that care that they need, especially if they are nursing. There's nursing neck, which is similar to tech neck. And you need to get those, areas worked on, especially mid shoulders up. After having a baby, you always have that lower back pain where it's kind of like the emptiness of like where your baby's pressure was, especially later on in the pregnancy.
Well, and I feel like when you're doing that kind of massage or checking their posture and stuff, I feel like you can help them with like different ways of, sitting with breastfeeding and help their posture and their muscles relax. And do you do that too? Yeah.
So I remember one of the episodes, I feel like it was with Macy, and I always remember you guys, and I always think back to this with nursing as well, that the car has a headrest for a reason, and it's called the headrest. So I always think of that, but like it's so hard when you're nursing that to like actually do that because you always want to look at your baby. But the older that they get, like my youngest just turned 1, and I am still nursing, and I have finally like decided just let your head rest, like just let it sit back, and that just helps the posture, that helps the tension in the shoulders, the tension all throughout the body because everything's connected. So I always think back to that with the nursing neck and tech neck. And you can use like if for recovery at home, if you just don't have time or the energy or the money to go out and receive therapies, whether it's massage, physical therapy, pelvic floor therapy, meeting any like mom groups, exercises or anything like that. I always give tips for at home. I have lacrosse balls that I like to give out to my clients during pregnancy, to also use for postpartum as well, to just do some like rolling and
pressure points.
Yeah, pressure points to be able to get things worked out at home. Whether they have a spouse help them or a support, or even if they just have time for themselves, 5 minutes while the baby's taking a bath or while you're, they're nursing or taking a nap or whatever. I like to throw the ball behind my back while I'm nursing sometimes, just to kind of roll that out while I'm, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
And then like massage guns, heat packs, the rice packs, being mindful of your posture, using like baby carriers the proper way to give yourself that break, and your shoulders and your muscles and that tension in there to just let it, not being able to like not having to actually carry your baby around, but having it like in a wrap or a sling, just giving your body that rest that it needs.
No, I think a big piece that a lot of women could look to massage for, or maybe might think about massage for, is if they've had a C-section. Do you work on C-section scars? Do you provide education on how women can work on scars long term, any of that stuff?
Yeah, so I have in the past. And so there I can give like resources, and I have massaged the C-section scars before. So with C-sections, I usually recommend them coming within like a week or 2 after like letting their scars heal a little bit. For postpartum, with a vaginal birth, you can come back as soon as you would like. But for C-section scars, I let them heal a little bit, and then you can work around the areas to help break up any scar tissue. And then I show them, like, I usually use like a vitamin E oil, or I really like the Mother Love pregnancy belly oil, but it helps with just like the scar visibility and like breaking up the scar tissue there. And just kind of that helps with pregnancies later on, like in the future pregnancies as well, with that scar tissue as well.
Now, what would you say the ideal postpartum recovery plan would look like? I know obviously gentle body work, so some massage would be included in that. But as a mom yourself, what else do you feel like women should really be prioritizing in that 4th trimester?
I really like journaling and just getting like in a better mindset of like whether it was a good birth story or not, to just get that birth story written down, and just letting your body and your mind like go back into that and getting it out, like especially if it wasn't a great experience, just getting it out and letting it be out in the world where it's not just like stuck in your mind, where it's, you know, holding you back from other things or giving you the fear of anything in the future. Definitely want to make sure that you're getting sleep, whether it's, you know, if you're nursing, feeding the baby, just make sure that even if you're getting 45 minutes here or there, just get that sleep while you can. You know, they say sleep while baby sleeps. And I'm one of those, like, just maybe what I do, but I'm very like a calm, and like the dishes will be there still, but I won't be able to do them if I can't function, right? So having that like mindset of letting your body do what it needs to do and letting the village and support help you. Like I always tell my clients in the last like 6 months, I feel like we've really been talking about like that whole village, about how our parents' generations and the generations before that, they had like their grandmas, aunts and uncles and cousins and all that, like to help them. Is it that we don't have that village, or is it that we don't want that village because the world is so different raising children now than it was even when I was a kid? Whereas, you know, things have just completely changed. Mind shifts have completely changed. And it's not that it's bad or anything, but we definitely feel like we don't have like that support. So I think finding like the moms that are in the same kind of trenches that you are, especially postpartum, getting like finding mom groups, going for walks, being out in sunshine, getting the proper nutrition, which one of my favorite books for the nutrition part of postpartum is the first 40 days, which it gives a lot of different like recipes. A lot of it is, some people might think it's like taboo recipes where it's like, you know, eating beef liver, just like,
but there's so
nutritious
many benefits with beef liver and stuff.
Right. For the audience that listens to this, you can share that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know that you've kind of become known as an awesome person to give resources to parents. So I love that you shared that book. Do you have any other, since we're on that topic, do you have any other book recommendations that you'd like to share?
Yeah. So one of my other favorites is The 4th Trimester by Kimberly Ann Johnson. And then Birth Without Fear is good for birth and for postpartum. There are some good stories and information in there. And then one of my favorites is kind of like a comic book style. It's Good Moms Have Scary Thoughts Too by Karen Kleiman. That's one of my favorite ones. I actually like buy it for a lot of my friends that after they have babies, because it's not like a typical where you just like read through the book.
Yeah.
It shows,
you don't have time for that, or you just
it's kind of like a picture book for postpartum moms.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing those, and we'll link to those in the show notes as well. I do want to touch on what partners can do at home to help support their wives in this postpartum recovery season as well. Well, I guess first question is, ideally, how often would a woman be coming in to see you as a professional? And then to piggyback off of that, what can partners do at home to help with recovery through touch and massage, even though they're not trained therapists? So start with kind of ideal plan coming to you, but then what can partners also do at home?
Yeah, so for postpartum, I would recommend coming within the first 2 to 4 weeks postpartum, and then continuing coming 2 to 4 weeks until, especially nursing, where you get like that, well, even just carrying a baby around, you're in different positions that your body's not been used to. Even if it's your 3rd, 4th child, like, you know, your body's carries different every time. So for massage, I would say to come regular, at least monthly, for the first 3-4 months. And then that's even continuing on after that as a maintenance thing, every 4 to 6 weeks is what I would recommend. And then for spouses or other family members or friends to help support moms through touch, like I had mentioned before, different tools like massage guns, just giving them a 5-minute shoulder squeeze rub, giving them space, like maybe not even touch. Maybe that's not what they need. They need that space and just to be able to breathe for 5 minutes can really help them get back into a better mindset, where postpartum, like anxiety and depression can just like kind of creep up on you, even if you tell yourself that that's not what's going to happen. But yeah, and just bringing you water, making sure you're fed, having nutritious snacks, easy things to grab. I always recommend like having, if you have a rocking chair in the nursery, having like a little snack bin there so you can always have something to be able to grab, whether you get nap trapped or,
nap trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that word. But yeah, so just having things accessible, having your spouse or family makes nutritious meals and make sure you're fed, make sure you get to take a shower.
Washing the dishes. Yeah. Cleaning the kitchen.
Being able to have the mom's mind and mindset just be able to like rest, so they don't have to have that thoughts of like, oh, my friends can't come and visit or help me because my house is a mess, which is why they want to come and help and support you.
Mm-hmm. It really is a mindset shift.
Yeah.
To be like, we don't have to do it all. Like that kind of goes back to the village thing.
Yeah. Don't just come over and grab the baby. Like help the mom, like she wants to be with the baby, but she wants things around her house to get done. So being able to help support with that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What encouragement would you have for the mom who feels like she doesn't have time to make for massages specifically, or just kind of that self-care piece? And we are going to be diving into self-care in depth in its own episode. But I think a lot of women really struggle with taking the time for themselves, and especially when it comes to leaving their baby. I love how you invite the babies into your office and space, but I think a lot of women just struggle with this in general. So finish out this episode, what kind of encouragement would you have to give the mom who is feeling a little stuck?
Yeah, I would encourage them to know that they're not alone and to be able to reach out to other moms, whether it's a mom's group, local or not local, and just get the support that they need, giving your time space and knowing that it's not a 1 to 2 week process where you're just going to bounce back. Mm-hmm. Like your body isn't ever really going to be back. Like you can get your body back to like the shape it was, but it's never, your organs are like shoved up into a corner when you're growing a baby. Just know that like it takes months and even years to get back into where you need. So don't feel like you need to rush back into anything.
Mm-hmm. Giving yourself grace.
Yeah.
And knowing that this is a
that's
season.
One of my favorite sayings. Give yourself grace.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a season. And, there's a saying that says that the days are long, but the years are short. And it's so true.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always, with now having 2 children, I have really learned that like everything is just a phase, and to know that like this phase of life, you can you get through it, and you get, you look back and then you're like, you miss it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing all of this info in this episode as well. Can you share a little bit about your social media? Where can people find you on those platforms?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook page, Nurtured Roots Prenatal Massage, and then also on Instagram, Nurtured Roots Massage, LLC. And then you can also find a lot of my information on my website, which is nurturedrootsprenatalmassage.com. And you can reach me at my email, which is the easiest way to reach me, at hello@nurturedrootsprenatalmassage.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Stefanie. We have 2 more awesome episodes coming up, and we can't wait to dive into those next.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, would you consider leaving a rating or review or sharing it directly with a friend who could benefit from the information? We know that you're a busy mom or caregiver, and our goal is to make your life easier by bringing tips and tricks directly from experts into your earbuds. By sharing this episode with someone you love, you can play a critical role in helping to make their life easier as well. We appreciate your time, and thank you for being a part of the Motherhood Alliance family.